I'm standing in front of a concrete-walled drainage canal that's been wedged into a gap in the residential district. Ciel-senpai led the way over to the unremarkable corner of the city, one which a lot of students happen to pass through on their way to school.
先輩、あの下水道に入っていくんですか？
そうですよ。あの横穴から中に入ります。日本の下水路は近代化されていますから、水路に落ちなければ濡れることもありません。ただし、背後や側面に気をつけて。中は明かりがありませんから、目より耳に気を配ってください。
You got it. As soon as she's done talking, Senpai jumps off the bridge and lands into the canal below. I'll fall behind her if I just stand around dithering. I muster up some courage, climb over the fence, and use the ladder built into the wall to climb down into the canal.
まだ太陽は昇っていますが、中に入れば日差しも届きませんし、時間も経過するでしょう。あなたは後ろから離れないように、異常を感じたらすぐに私の背中を叩くか声で知らせてください。
はい。それより先輩、武器は？俺はナイフがありますけど。
心配には及びません。国権は必要数常備しています。今回はあくまで調査ですから、ロアの棺を発見次第撤退して準備を整えます。本格的な光線はこの後です。内部で明かりは使わないので、そのつもりで。
そっか、吸血鬼に気づかれるもんな。携帯の明かりもダメですよね。でもそれだとどうやって中を調べるんですか？
暗視程度なら私でも使えますから心配は不要です。水路内は私が先導しますから、先ほど言ったようにと。
I take her outstretched left hand in my right. I wonder if she's nervous. Senpai's movements are clumsy as she wraps the fingers of her hand around mine.
行きます。ここからだと学校下付近の水路までは20分ほどでしょう。その間余計な気は起こさないように。
Focus on the task at hand. I guess she means don't start getting cold feet now. Of course, I nod. Hand in hand with Senpai, I step forward into the impenetrable darkness. Now just look at this place. The inside of the sewer is different from what I expected. Paths have been built on both sides of the 2-meter wide canal running down the middle, so it's actually not that difficult to make our way through. This place has raw sewage flowing through it, so I'd expect it to reek down here, but it's really not all that bad. Occasionally I feel something squish unpleasantly under my foot when I take a step, but there aren't any rats scurrying around down here at least. As Ciel-senpai said, these sewers are well-maintained public infrastructure. They're a totally different beast to what we found beneath the department store. It isn't the filth down here that's got me on edge anyway, but the ceaseless trickling down of water, the echoing of our shoes, and the impenetrable darkness ahead. Senpai said it'd take about 20 minutes to get beneath our school. Right now, ours is the only footsteps that can be heard. Senpai is walking a little slower than usual, perhaps out of consideration for me. I don't want to distract her with idle chatter, so I just focus on Senpai's back. I feel like it's gotta be more than 20 minutes since we came in here. But she hasn't tried to signal anything to me, and I haven't noticed anything even remotely out of the ordinary. Without even realizing it, I tighten my hold on her hand.
止まって。今明かりをつけます。
Senpai lets go of my hand and shines her flashlight across the wall. The light reveals that a jagged hole has been punched right through it, and that there seems to be a cave on the other side.
これは
アルクエイドの仕業ですね。
Yeah.
こんなところでこんなことをするのはあの考えなしだけでしょう。
なるほど。
I nod in agreement. To arcueid, this would constitute a meticulous and detailed investigation.
これ奥に部屋があるんですか？
そのようですね。下水地図にはこんな場所に部屋はありませんでしたが、罠はありませんね。
I mean, this is a sewer. I don't know why there would be traps here of all places. Unless a vampire placed them there. I don't know. It seems Senpai has some way of knowing it's safe without even setting foot inside. We enter, picking our way across the shattered lumps of concrete. Yep, this setting looks kind of familiar. Inside is a small cave. The floor is paved with stone, and the walls are rough-hewn rock. There's a faint light shining down from the ceiling. I've seen something like this before. It looks exactly like that chamber deep beneath the department store. In which case... Sure enough, there it is. In the center of the cave, right beneath where the light is flittering down from above, is a 2-meter-long altar. On top of it is a coffin made of stone, the lid of which someone seems to have ripped off. Senpai has walked over to the coffin. I follow her to see what's inside. It's his corpse. As expected, inside the stone coffin lies a single dead body. I say dead body, but really all that remains are enough bones to suggest that something human-shaped once lay here. Its ribs are the only vaguely recognizable thing left. Its heart was most likely ripped out in a single blow. So this is the fate of the vampire called Roa. Killed by arcueid. These scraps are all that remain of the vampire who had infiltrated the city.
そんなことは。
先輩？
Senpai is acting strange. Roa's dead. It doesn't really matter how it happened. That seems like the sort of thing that she should be happy about, and yet she's shaking like a child that's come face to face with their own nightmares.
どうしたんですか？そんな怖い顔して。ロアってやつはもういないんでしょ？なら、これで万事解決じゃないですか。
I find it hard to stomach the fact that Senpai doesn't have a reason to stick around in the city anymore, but that's really only a me problem. In the grand scheme of things, this is the best thing that could have happened, and yet Senpai's leaning her hand on the coffin to try to stop herself from collapsing.
違うんです。ロアが死んでいる状況は間違っている。これじゃ道理に合わない。転生体が死亡すれば、ロアは次の転生先に移動する。彼を通常の手段で殺しきることはできません。でも、それでも一時的に痕跡は消えるんです。その町を汚染しているロアの転生体さえ消してしまえば、少なくとも町に根付いた下級の使徒は全滅する。だから、もしこれが本当にロアの遺体なら、この町に死者が残っているはずがないんです。
Uh-huh. I had a feeling, right? Because there's no way it would be that easy, right? I think back to what arcueid told me about the vampire ranks. I'm pretty sure she mentioned something along those lines. She said that the dead, vampires rank 3 and below, return to being corpses the moment their sire is defeated.
でも、それは下級の使徒だけの話でしょ。3階艇より上の吸血鬼なら、ロアがいなくなっても自分の意志で行動するって。
Yeah, that must be it. Take the vampires in that underground garage, for instance. They were definitely all above rank 3. Everything can still be explained, even if Ro's dead.
ニュースはありましたか？テレビでもネットでもいい。ここ数日で身元不明の遺体を発見したというニュースはありましたか？ロア、親である使徒が消滅したのなら、その時点で隠蔽されていた事件が明るみになる。死と討伐において町がまだ平穏であること、それ自体が何も解決していない証拠なんです。
じゃあそこにあるロアの遺体は偽物で、ロアのやつは
そう。使徒ロアはまだこの町にいる。
That's Noel.
いいえ。初めからずっと同じ体にいたんじゃないかしら。ねえ、そう思わない？当の四季君。
A woman's voice echoes through the stone room. Hello. When I turn around, I see Noel-sensei, dressed in her habit, standing in the entrance we just came through.
四季君を尾行していたら、とんでもない場所に案内してもらっちゃった。それがロアの棺？今の話じゃ、もう何の意味もないゴミ箱みたいだけど。
The woman enters the stone room, her halberd already in hand. Oh god. It's such a threatening sight that my whole body is on edge. I can't see myself calling her sensei at this point. The gruesome scene at the abandoned factory flashes before my eyes. Her blatantly fake smile, her unabashed hatred and hostility, her vile gaze, always on the lookout for an opportunity to swing her weapon down on someone. Right now, they're all trained squarely on me. I hide my knife behind my sleeve so that Noel doesn't notice I'm holding it. Shifting my weight onto my feet, I ready myself against a surprise attack. Seeing me do this, the woman just looks at me with amusement.
でも、さすがシエルさんね。こんな逃げ場のない場所に標的をおびき出すなんて、相変わらず手際がいいわ。ほら、早く始めましょう。入り口は私が押さえておくから、あなたはそこの吸血鬼を殺してあげて。
Ciel-senpai flinches when Noel calls out to her. She weakly slumps her shoulders, then slowly turns to face me, a look of pity in her eyes. My mind goes blank. I can't follow this conversation at all. I can't even begin to try and understand it. What on earth did they just say to each other?
まだ分かってないの？それとも分かってない演技？まあどっちでもいいんだけど、物証も取れたし、今なら審査もやってこないし、ようやく年貢の納め時よね。こんな結果になっちゃったのは残念だけど、ま、8割方分かっていたことだから悲しくもないか。それじゃバイバイ。あなたの悪運もここまでよ、吸血鬼。
何？
Yeah. What the hell is she talking about? I don't understand. My legs feel weak. My fingertips are trembling so much that I almost dropped my hidden knife.
シエル先輩。
I reflexively call out to her, but my voice sounds like that of a sinner begging for forgiveness. Senpai awkwardly avoids meeting my gaze. It's as if she's saying that the woman spouting all this nonsense is correct. Yeah, they definitely talked about this, for sure.
あのさ、いつまでも被害者面しないでもらえないかな。この付近でロアの転生先に該当する家柄は遠野家だけ。その遠野家には長男と長女がいたけど、次の転生先は男子であることだけは分かってた。だから必然、君が今代のロアなわけ。こんなこといちいち言わなきゃ分からない。
バカなこと言わないでくれ。俺は吸血鬼なんかじゃないし、ロアなんてやつも知らない。
Her accusation is so absurd that it snaps me out of my paralysis. I mean, I feel pretty sure I'd at least notice if I were a vampire. I'm one of the people who hunts them. There's absolutely no world in which I'm on their side.
あれ？もしかして本当に気づいてなかった？四季君たらそこまで見事にシエルさんと同じなわけ？あっちゃー、これはちょっと悪いことしちゃったな。でも
The woman in the habit ducks her head slightly and covers her mouth with her hand. Her back is quivering softly. She's holding her breath as though trying to contain something. An unsettling sound slips out between her closed lips. Noel removes her hand from her mouth, as though announcing she can't hold it anymore, and turns to face me.
最高。それでこそロアの生まれ変わりよね。最後まで自分が無実だなんて思い込んでるとか、無様すぎてワクワクしちゃう。
笑うな。何がおかしいんだ、あんた。
I tightly grasp my knife and glare at the woman. I'm Rua's reincarnation? No way. That's absolutely impossible. Where's the proof? I don't know if she's joking or what, but if she is, then she's got a sick sense of humor.
もう必死になって可愛いんだから。でもそういうものらしいよ。ロアの転生先になった人間はみんな自分を保ったままある日あっさり変わるんだって。ねえ、そうでしょシエルさん。
Can you speak, Ciel? Like,
あ
what's
なた
going
は
on
自分
here?
をまともだと思っていたの？ナイフ一本で人間を解体できる力は何？常人離れした判断力はいくら吸血鬼だからって人間だったものをあっさり殺してしまえる価値観はまともだと言えるのかしら。
それ
How do you know that? Red fireworks blossom between my retinas.
いい加減自覚したら？あなたは人殺しを何とも思わない。いえ、殺人だけが得意な非人間なのよ。
Here we go, with the accusations.
あなた自身が気がついていないだけで本当はとっくの昔に死んでいる気の狂った殺人鬼なんだって。
Says the psychopath. That's not... I want to deny it. I want to say it's not true. But now that I think about it, when did I come to accept something so freakish as these mystic eyes as an ordinary part of everyday life?
違う。くだらない言いがかりはやめてくれ。それ以上はノエル先生でも許せない。
ええ、許せなくていいわよ。私も絶対に許さないし逃がさないから。
Here we go. It happens in the blink of an eye. She lets her right hand dangle loose at her side, then whips it up again behind her. It's a similar motion to a baseball pitcher winding up for a sidearm throw. When her hand comes back up, it's clutching a sword handle. She swings her right arm, sending the weapon in her hand hurtling toward me. It's not like I couldn't see it coming. Noel's throw is incredibly slow compared to Senpai's. But being the target of a weapon designed to kill vampires just doesn't feel real. I can't process how I should react. Should I dodge it? Should I parry it? Even though my thoughts are clear, I still can't decide. Because dodging it would mean accepting that I'm a target for them. And that would be crazy. It wouldn't make any sense. I'm not a vampire or anything like that, so there's no way I'd be their target. Therefore, there's no need for me to dodge anything. I stand frozen in place, fettered by my own twisted logic. The tip of her weapon makes contact with my chest. In order to prove my innocence, I hereby put an end to this life.
Fight!
Except...
先輩！
何のつもりシエル？
That was close. At the very last moment, Senpai deflected the black key, speeding toward my chest. Senpai steps in front of me, putting her face to face with Noel.
下がりなさい、代行者ノエル。彼がロアである確証は取れていません。今はロアの消滅の確認を先にすべきです。
は？何を言ってるの？確証なんて十分すぎるほど取れたでしょ。もうこの町に彼以外のロア候補はいないって。
早計すぎます。それに彼はまだ何の罪も犯していない。無実の者を殺めることは許されません。
A sharp, incongruous sound echoes through the room. The woman staring vacantly at Senpai has just given herself a slap across the cheek. Even with her palms still resting on her face, the woman doesn't take her eyes off Senpai. Her cheek isn't the only thing obscured by her hand. It's spread across her whole face, her fingers messily kneading and scrunching up her skin. She's like a child that's been scared out of their wits by a nightmare, and is sobbing and pawing at their face with their hands.
ふざけ相手。
The woman squares her shoulders. Ciel Senpai just looks at her, a pained expression on her face.
無実？無実ですって？何言ってんのあんた。今まで散々疑わしきは罰してきたくせに、なんでこいつだけ見逃してやるって言うのよ。
Clutching her halberd with both hands, the woman charges at me. I'm the only one she sees. Paying no attention to Senpai, she gives up her position in front of the exit so she can spring forward, swing her halberd down, and cleave me in two. But doesn't connect. She slipped past Senpai, only to promptly be kicked inside and sent flying into the wall. She props herself up, coughing violently. Her hands are empty. That kick just now snapped the handle of her halberd in two, knocking it right out of her grip.
落ち着きなさい、代行者ノエル。あなたの行動は明らかな戒律違反です。先ほどの暴挙は見逃しますから、今は。
かばうの？
What just occurred has marked a conclusive schism between the two. I can't see her face, but even I can tell how conflicted Senpai is. To the woman across from her, Senpai's inner turmoil must be riding clear across her face.
何それ？何なのよそれ。のぼせ上がるのも大概にしろって言うのよ。あの代行者シエルがこんなどこにでもいそうなガキ相手に、まさか情とか映してるんじゃないでしょうね。
私の個人的感情とは別の話です。仮に彼がそうであったとしても、まだ発言していないのなら間に合うかもしれない。ロアに上書きされる前に助ける手段が
ないわよ。転生先に選ばれた時点で終わりってもう結論が出てるじゃない。いえ、そもそも助ける理由がないわ。吸血鬼に情は無用でしょ。いつだってそうしてきたでしょ。相手が何であれロアともども殺すだけだってあんたはいつも言ってたじゃない。
それは。
Strength fades from Senpai's body. Up until now, she's never shown even a hint of weakness, regardless of the circumstances. But now she looks like just an ordinary girl her age. There's a good chance that Noel recognizes just how sinful a display that really is.
俺と相手は別だってわけ。すっごい愛らしすぎて泣けてくる。ねえ、もしかしてあんたも私もバカじゃないの？いいえ、違うのよね。もしかしなくても初めから私だけがバカだったわけ。
With bloodshot eyes, the woman grips a black key in her hand. Her eyes aren't locked on me anymore.
ふざけやがって。あんたの食材は何もかも嘘じゃない。
3 black keys come soaring through the air. Ciel Senpai deflects them with a swing of her right arm.
それなら
The woman is well aware just how outmatched she is. The three black keys she launched by pushing her left hand to its very limit are nothing more than a diversion. The brunt of her attack is actually the cremation rite concealed in her right hand. She had put her everything into this last desperate gambit, hoping to unleash the black key on me while I stood around in a daze. Oh shit. Except she never got a chance to carry it out. Because the instant those three black keys left her hand, her right shoulder was skewered by one of Ciel-senpai's black keys. There's a flash of light followed by ear-splitting screams of anguish. The black key lodged into the woman's right shoulder unleashed a jolt of electricity that rips through all the tissue in her body. The weapon, designed to subdue rather than eliminate, doesn't so much as scorch her skin, even as it lays waste to the muscles that lie underneath. Unable to stay on her feet, Noel collapses to all fours and glares up at Ciel-senpai. Her eyes are clouded by anger, as well as by the kind of terror felt by the weak when confronted with proof of their inadequacy. Damn, just look at her. Senpai walks over to retrieve her fallen black key. Noel must have thought she was coming to deliver the finishing blow, as she desperately tries to squirm away from her. She's like an insect whose legs have been plucked off, pitifully wiggling around on its back. She trembles with fear, her lips frantically mouthing, "Please don't kill me."
立ち去りなさい、シスターノエル。今夜の件はその傷で不問とします。支部に戻り手当てを受けなさい。その右腕はあなたでは癒せない。回復した後は、周りを司祭代行の指示に従うように。
Damn. You were definitely showing your place, huh? She lets out a blood-curdling groan. Noel somehow manages to stand by propping herself up against the wall with her left hand, then starts to leave the cave, dragging her paralyzed leg behind her. She glares at Senpai until she's completely out of sight, her eyes wet with tears. With the departure of the unexpected intruder, the cave regains its earlier stillness. The silence is heavy. I can't get Noel-sensei's words out of my head. Senpai just stares down into the coffin, a pained expression on her face.
先輩、ノエル先生の言ってたことは、
I can't bring myself to finish that sentence. Because even if it really is just a bunch of baseless drivel, she still believed that it was true. The conditions Roa had for choosing a body to reincarnate into. You may not have realized it yet yourself. I definitely do meet all the criteria. So then, does that mean...
それはありえません。まったく、遠野くんまで本気にしないでください。ノエル先生の言い分はあくまで可能性の話で、現実的とは言えません。だいたいロアはここで死んでいるんですから、それでいいじゃないですか。
でも、ロアは遠野家の長男だって。
ええ、それは確かです。だってここで死んでいる遺体が、その長男なんですから。
長男って、そのミイラが。
ミイラ？まあ、ミイラですけど。私の調べでは、遠野家にはもう一人子供が、養子がいたんですよ。7年前に死亡したと記録にはありますが、
Gee, I
その
wonder
遺
who
体
that
はど
is.
こにもなかった。おそらく秘密裏に生き延び、ここでロアとして活動していたのでしょう。
じゃあ、 そいつは遠野家の養子だったのか。
間違いなく。そうでなければ死体の数が合いませんから。遠野くんは覚えがありませんか？遠野の家にいた子供のはずなんですが。
いえ、それが。
Haven't seen that image in a while.
すみません。ちょっと記憶にないです。親父が養子を取っていたこと自体、初耳でした。
そうですか。遠野家も古い家柄ですから、叩けば埃が出るのでしょうけど。ああ、そういえば遠野名義でオフィス街の土地売買で不自然なお金の流れがありましたっけ？あれなんかいかにも非合法スレスレな感じでしたが。
ちょっと待ってください。親父はともかく秋葉にやましいところなんかありませんから。養子のことだって秋葉は知らないだろうし。
Maybe we should ask her.
おやおや、こんな時でも妹さんを立てるとは感心です。家ではさぞ頼りにされているお兄さんと見ました。
あ、いえ、それは
I have zero faith in the idea that I'm somehow reliable.
そのあたりの事実関係は今後の調査ですね。下級使徒の遺体が出てこないのは気になりますが、思い返してみればデパート地下の件がありました。グローブが暴れたことで下級使徒の大部分は瓦礫に埋もれたのでしょう。繰り返しますが、遠野くんがロアのはずがないんです。今日だって普通に学校に来ていたでしょ。ロアは使徒なんですから太陽の下には出歩けません。
ああ。
It seems obvious now that she said it.
じゃあノエル先生の考えはただの的外れってこと
でしょうね。まったく早とちりにも程があります。遠野くんは遠野くんです。ちょっと特別な目があるだけの危なっかしくて放っておけない男の子ですよ。
Aw. With her usual smile, Senpai tells me the one thing I wanted to hear the most. I feel the unease that had settled over my shoulders melts away. As I take a breath, I start to feel slightly anemic. I'd numb myself to it because of all the crazy things that kept happening, but it seems like I've hit the limits of what my body can take.
あとはこの遺体の処理ですね。焼却処理しますから、遠野くんは離れていてください。
I follow Senpai's instructions. She waits for me to exit back into the sewers, then burns Ro's corpse to ashes along with the coffin in which it lay. It's a little anticlimactic to say the least. The vampire who terrorized this city for who knows how many years has finally met his end in some forgotten corner of the sewers. Of course, since he's achieved immortality through reincarnation, this doesn't mean Ro is gone for good. Nevertheless, the threat that had taken root in this city is gone. With this, the vampire incident has finally been put to rest. I somehow doubt that.